Hello there, and welcome. It's like most of the people that I work with are experienced. They kind of have it going on. It's like they're talented, they are smart, they are taking all the best classes, and they use all the best products. But sometimes there's a missing ingredient or a missing link. And what we have today is a very special session of Beauty Superstars Talk, where I'm going to actually get to meet and introduce with you and share with you one of my students. Her name is Roselee Mathu, and she is a Loctician, and she'll tell you more of the details of all of the things that she does. But I want to welcome you to Beauty Superstars Talk. And I also just want to share my name is Miki Wright. I'm going to be your host, and I actually help train hairstylists, usually experienced hairstylists and other beauty professionals, how to create a six-figure and beyond business without overworking. And for many, they take that next step and go into premium pricing, and we take another step beyond, say, the excellent customer service and create unforgettable customer experiences. And so Rosalie is a graduate of that program, and I have her here so that she can share her story. So I hope that you will join us. It's like we've got the comment section open, so please feel free to say hello. Housekeeping wise, it's like we will be taking your comments, your questions all throughout. And also, if you would like, we're using the StreamYard platform. And if you'd like for me to know your name, just put your name underneath where the information is. It should say give StreamYard permission. You don't have to, but it's helpful so we can just say hi. So welcome everyone who's joining us, and welcome Rosalie.
Hi,
Hi
thank
there.
you. Excellent, excellent. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, well, I'm so excited that you're here, and I really want you to just start by telling everyone what you do and what your background and experience is.
Okay, so my name is Roselee Mathu. I'm the owner of Roselee's Natural Hair Care, home of Stylist Excel Academy, and I have been a loctician since 2008, and I have been training and mentoring since 2012. I work with people who specialize in the interlocking method, and I have recently developed a training program called the Signature Lock Method that allows you to create a six-figure business with less than 50 clients. And so that's been an exciting endeavor.
Awesome. I love that. So I love your experiences. Like you came into the luxury business blueprint is the name of the program. You came into it like you say, as an experienced loctician, as an experienced mentor, and that type of thing. So tell us what your life was like before and what made you kind of make that decision to join the program.
So at the time that I joined the program, I was trying to do two things at the same time, like literally at the same time.
Hmm.
The way because I was mentoring, I needed to be able to provide opportunities for the students to get actual hands-on in clients' hair, and I have my clientele. So scheduling wise, I would schedule the client and the mentee to work on the client at the same time. So sometimes it worked out well, sometimes it didn't. And what happened was a lot of the clients were, and this is how I knew that the client experience, the reason that they come to you, there's something like interpersonal, not like not for an audience. It was something interpersonal that they were coming to you for. So whenever there was another person, they didn't feel as comfortable to
Hmm.
do the thing that they came to the salon to do. So they started asking for um, that they didn't want to have a student in the room, which put me in a bind because then I was like, well, how are these students going to learn what they need to learn?
Right.
And it wasn't until I came to your program that I saw how to separate the two.
Okay. Okay. So that was kind of your biggest challenge. It's like you had
Yes.
clients and a pretty full book from what I recall.
Right, right,
And,
right. That was the other thing, that
uh-huh.
the schedule was jam packed. I really was. I was at the height of serving clients, and I was trying to squeeze in these students in there. So I was really stretched thin.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember frustration and a little like, woo, how am I going to keep this up? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And it's not uncommon because it's like we can get in, for me, I think it feels like sometimes this is like a snowball, like
mm,
our business, and it's like
yeah,
you start out and you're like, I want to be busy, I want to be busy, and you're like
yeah,
pushing this thing up the hill, and it's like, oh, okay, come on, people, let's get in here, and then you get to the top of the hill, and you're like, yay. And it's like, I'm busy. And then it starts rolling down the other side where it's like there's
right,
more people requesting you and there's more people
right.
wanting to come in. And it's just like, okay, wait a minute.
Wait a minute, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really where it was.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So tell us, some of the things that made an impact for you through the training. Because what some people get a little concerned, like, is this going to be something long, long and drawn out or too complicated?
I think I mentioned this to you before because I was saying that the you're really the way you're really easygoing. It didn't feel like because the way I was coming into the class was I need help, and then I get there and you're like, yeah, so we're gonna, like your demeanor is real laid back. So and in the beginning I was like, I'm not sure if this is gonna work for me, and so I wasn't being as diligent about showing up live. I would watch it on replay, but
Mhm.
the day that I showed up live was when I was like, oh, yeah, I need to carve out space for this, because I believe on that first day when I came, there was a gentleman who was moving
Mhm.
from somewhere, and he was having such an emotional an emotional reaction to leaving the people that he had the business that he had cultivated, and was he going to be able um, to get this new clientele? And again, the way that you worked through that situation was just like, oh, so you just need to do X, Y, and Z. And I was like, oh, I would never have thought that, right? So that was the day that was like, okay, let me be serious. But then trying to be serious, I didn't have the time in my schedule. So I think you remember I was always doing something when I was in class, but I made sure to come live though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the thing is now it's set up as a class, as
Is
an
it
online
okay?
course, and so
Yeah,
like, you can actually do it at your own pace.
right.
Right? It's
Okay.
designed to take about 6 weeks, which is the time that we spent,
That's right.
in
Yeah.
live sessions.
Yeah.
But it is because we did those live sessions, or I should say maybe because I taught so many live sessions,
Right.
it's like each thing that walks you step by step by step
Right.
through the entire process. And
Right.
everybody that's taken it has been, it's just a course, has been like, they get it. They, are able to raise their prices. They build the confidence that they need and
Right.
all of those things. And they said if there's any little question that they may have had, when they get to the next one, it's the answers
Let's
in
answer the next.
there.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, and
Awesome.
so it's meant to build on itself.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of start with the confidence part. So what
Right. I
like,
remember that. I remember that. I remember the exercise where we had to say what our new price was, and it
uh
felt like there was like a frog. There's a frog in my throat. I couldn't say it. And you were like, I don't believe you.
right.
Yes. I remember that confidence building. It there are some things like habits that we don't know that we need to have if you're trying to be someone who's at a level, right? Because in order to get to that level, you have to work to get to that level because you're not there yet. And recognizing that there's some activity that needs to be done to get there. So some of the activities you had us do, uh, I felt like really made it apparent that you're not this person. That's why you're having difficulty implementing the things that you're being asked to implement. Even though I want to get there, and I can see that this makes sense. When it comes time to actually do it, um, you're not that person. So like my word for the year is congruent. And that's one of the things I think I understood from your program was you have to be that person to do that thing. Because if you're not the person who can do that thing, there's like that's why we have that trouble to say what this price is, because you don't have the, like if your price is supposed to be up here, you don't have those things in place to offer that price. That's why you're having a problem. And I like how you had us go into like the luxury places and what are they doing and how does that feel and how can you put that back into your business. I enjoyed that. That helped also put everything together.
Yeah. Will you share a little bit more about your experience with that?
So I feel like I already identify with being luxury because at my house, I'm always the one who needs to be pulled back. If something's to be done, I'm always over here. My husband's like, yeah, can we? Right. I feel like I'm always that anyway. But, so I thought about some of the things that, for the price that I want to charge, what would I pay for that? I thought about that aspect. I also thought about the stores that I like to shop in and what do they do that makes me feel a certain way. And I know that at a certain price point, people know your name. They remember things about you. They, when you have like life going on, they remember that there's life going on. And I think I've infused that into my business in such a way that I've curated the clientele to a place where I'm looking forward to each person that comes in, because sometimes they would text me like, this is what we're going to be talking about next week or whatever when I see you, right? There's that excitement on both ends that I'm coming to get my hair done and this is what I'm looking to get, more than just getting your hair done.
Right. Yeah, it's so much deeper than hair, I guess you could say.
It is.
Yeah, an experience that people look forward to.
Yeah.
But you said earlier, like, asking yourself, would you pay that? And I think that could be a double-edged sword for some people, because it's like
Yes.
we say, like, who would pay that? It's like,
Right.
I wouldn't pay that for this,
Right.
so then I can't charge that for that.
Right.
But until we can see that it's like there is value in it for certain people,
Right.
we get stuck. So what would
Yeah.
you say to that?
I would, yeah. So I would say it's because it's not about what I would pay. Uh, so I should change my words. It's not about what I would pay. It's like, what value do I get at this price point? It might not be, I might not pay this for this service, but for the things that I do pay that amount for, what does that look like? Right? Because you're trying to get paid for your service, right? So if you wouldn't pay that, right, then you're not worth that, right? There's a tendency to attach the dollar value to your worth, and that's not right. That's not equal.
Right.
So if you think about for the amount of money that I want to charge, what would I pay that for? Not would I pay to get my hair done, but what would I pay for that? Yeah, I think that's a better way to go about that.
Yeah, I think there's so many layers in terms of that, because it's like when we think about Starbucks, it's like we're doing some things on marketing. It's like I think people pay like double at least, and it may even be like 3 times as much as they would for another cup of coffee,
Right.
to specifically go to Starbucks to have
Right.
that experience.
Right.
Because it's the coffee, but it's,
The
the
experience.
language, it's
Exactly.
the experience that
Yeah.
everybody's like, oh, okay, like I'll pass by, 3 other places to get to that particular place and pay more for the
And pay
privilege
more.
of being there.
And pay more. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. I think that so let's even scratch what would I pay for it? What am I getting? There's the convenience. There's the I don't know, maybe you align with the company in terms of what the company believes or whatever,
Hmm.
or but that definitely the experience. How do I feel when I go to this place? I think that's really what you're paying for.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of times.
Yeah.
And so, yes, and it's like there's, I was looking at doing a post that just talks about, like a regular car and say a BMW. It's like they're both transportation, but only one is a driving experience.
Okay. Right.
And it's like we know which one costs more. And
Exactly. We were talking also just now. Actually, we were talking about the tools that we use for what we do. It seems that in the lock industry, in any old tool from anywhere will do, but
hmm,
there's this luxury tool that has come out, and I identify with, since I took your class, I always identify with luxury. So it's a luxury tool. But I was thinking about like chefs and uh, sports people. Like when you're doing things at a high level, you need high level tools. So it should apply even in the hair community. People who specialize in haircuts, their shears cost a certain amount of money.
hmm.
So yeah, I think there are levels, like you said.
Right, right. Yeah, and there's nothing necessarily like good or bad about either, but it's where do you want to fit in to your
Exactly.
business and your life.
Exactly.
So tell us a little bit about that piece. Like, did you think about, I need to raise my prices or I really want to go into premium pricing, or what were your thoughts before coming?
Okay, so what I needed to do was to create space in my schedule so that I could do the things I wanted to do. And I needed to separate, because my client experience, well, both the experiences were being diminished because I was combining the services that I was offering, which also meant that my attention was divided, right?
Right.
I couldn't give the client the experience that they came for because just I'll be distracted with the teaching that I was trying to do at the same time.
Right.
So in order to create space in my schedule, I had to increase the prices and work with less clients in order to create space for the students. And so the math on that's the one that gave me a frog in my throat. But looking at it on paper, how you had us do our math for what does that sweet spot need to be.
Hmm.
Math wise it made sense, and I'm a scientist, but the numbers don't lie. That's what it had to be, and that's where the confidence came from, because if I don't make this, I can't do all the things I need to do for my life. And so that helped me out real quick.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. And a lot of the course is on that confidence building and the mindset shifts that need
Yeah.
to take place. Because
Yeah.
we can talk about the numbers all day long. We can talk about the value you bring all day long, but you still, like you say, you won't be able to get it out of your mouth and
Right.
keep the clients. And so, or you'll just kind of knock something off. It's like I see a lot of discounting along the way,
Yeah.
a
But
lot of
yeah,
undercharging. Go ahead.
if you put it in the perspective of your life, though, I
Mm,
think that's where the shift comes in. Because if you don't make the money you need to live, then why are you doing what you're doing,
mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And that's I've always been trying to make sure that this my business is not taken away from my house.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And we definitely, throughout my career and helping with coaching and all of that, I've definitely seen that
Yeah.
and experienced that because it can be quite challenging to
Yeah.
finance
Right.
your home life and your business life.
Right. So, I mean, I'm married and my husband works, but there were like times earlier in my business where I wasn't doing my math like I was supposed to, and I'd be like, "Hey, I need to take from the house to, you know." And once you do that once, I mean, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good to do that at all.
Mhm.
So I always try to make sure that the business is adding to, not taking away.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, and it's like we have a great message here from Elaine Truesdale. Says, "Be the change you want to see in your business." So yeah,
That's right. That's right.
absolutely. And with where you are, like, what kind of price change did you make for that first? About what type of increase was it? Because I hear a lot of people, and before you answer, it's like I hear a lot of people who are like, "Oh, I raised my prices," and then when I start to ask them how much, it's like, "Oh, I raised them $5," and
Oh,
I
yeah.
would I would
I had to double my price.
woo.
Yeah, I had to double my price in order to make it work. Um, and what was eye opening for me was the clients who were the clients. They didn't bat an eye. They were just like, oh, okay, that's.
Hmm.
And I think also the relationships I've built with my clients, everybody always understood that I'm trying to train, and I started talking about trying to do it full time, and so people were concerned about their appointments. Like, if you stop doing hair, what am I going to do? So I think maybe the seeds had been planted, but also in order to make that palatable for maybe the people who are on the fence, the experience of the service changed, that made it okay for them to be like, okay, I see why I need to pay this in order to have you be my um, loctician.
Okay. Okay. So two questions from that. One, what kind of experience did you, or what kind of response did you expect from your clients?
Oh my gosh, I thought everybody was gonna be like, yeah, you tripping. You better go shut this business down now because nobody's getting ready to pay you all that, right? And there were some people who said that, but not as
Uh-huh.
many as I thought.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Right.
not
Right.
as many as I
And
thought.
how were you able to handle it when someone said something like that?
Okay, but because of the confidence work we had done,
Hmm.
I had worked on, people budget the service into their life, and if it's over the budget, like I was saying, if I'm thinking about at my house, if it's over the budget, it's over the budget, right?
Hmm.
um, so if it's not going to work, it's not going to work, and it didn't make me feel like you don't value my you don't value me, right? It's out of your budget, I understand. You're just not willing to pay that, I understand, right? Because the people who stayed, more people stayed than I thought. So I came out ahead anyway.
Hmm. Right. Okay. More people stayed than you thought.
Yeah.
So were you still a bit overworked?
If I'm being honest, I still am kind of.
Okay. Okay.
I still am kind of. Um, when I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, it's a nice, easy schedule. But because I'm still working on getting my uh, the mentorship and the classes at a level as well,
Uh-huh.
I think I haven't gotten to the balance. But in terms of managing my clients and my client schedule, that's been really good. So I need to apply the principles we learned to my mentoring side.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Very cool.
yeah.
And so part of why I wanted to have this conversation with you was because you were wanting to, kind of expand what you were doing so you wouldn't be behind the chair so much. So there's a lot of
Right.
people who are, in that kind of situation where it's like, okay, they've got some passions bubbling up inside of them. And
Mhm.
or it might be that they're looking at, like a few years from now, I don't want to be behind the chair. It's like, how did this training kind of help you transition to be able to do more of what you wanted to do?
It gave a vision for being what does you can design your life, your schedule, to make it what you want it to be. Like,
Hmm.
what you want is okay. Basically, what I
Hmm.
learned is what you want is okay, right? What you want is okay, and this is how you can make it do whatever it is you're envisioning, right? And also, you can make it do what you're envisioning without losing any, without needing to discount every 5 minutes and all those things that trip us up. There was a high level of confidence building every time we met that reinforced your ability to make business decisions, not emotional decisions.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of work where we kind of take the personalization out of it because it's
Right.
like a lot of times we feel like, oh, they didn't come back. They didn't like me. They didn't come back. My prices are too high. When it
Right.
may have absolutely nothing to do with reality.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
I think if that confidence building was it helped with all the other stuff that you were training, because once you're confident enough to know that this is what I need to do, then it's just a matter of executing because you feel capable.
Yeah, yeah. That's a really good word, capable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, with your client experience, how would you say that shifted, or how would your client say that shifted? Because
So I offer a private. We're in a private room because before we used to be in a room with other stylists.
mm,
I have so they're able to, if they're working from home, they're able to work. I allow them to book their appointments uh, a little bit in advance so that they have at least two appointments on the schedule.
mhm,
And a lot of my clients are business owners or um, CEOs or whatever, so they know their schedule in advance.
right.
And cutting so raising the price allowed me to cut down the clientele, which gave me flexibility when people needed to reschedule.
Mm,
There was room to reschedule because there never used to be any, and that was a big thing. So and then the fluff of like providing snacks and things like that in the space. But I think the main thing that my clients wanted was one-on-one with me
uh-huh.
in a private setting, and I was able to do that and then make the scheduling process a little easier for them. And that I feel like that made a much bigger difference than the peripheral stuff.
Right, right. Yeah, one of the things that I see is that, when we start talking about raising your prices and that type of thing, that people think, oh, I need to add some more stuff, or get some, like you say, get some snacks, or get some this, or, or remodel my salon. Like there's all these things that feel like, oh, before I can raise my prices, I've got to get all of this stuff in order. When from my perspective, in actuality, it's like we've been undercharging so long
Yeah,
that we're just really elevating it to the price that it should have been all along
yeah,
for what we're already
yeah,
providing.
yeah. And the other thing that's been interesting is the people who tell me that for the level of experience that I have and the quality of the work that I produce, they can't understand why I would be afraid to increase my prices even more.
Mhm.
Uh, so that's more confidence work that needs to be done. But the people can see what you're bringing to them.
Mhm. Right, right. And that is kind of, I think, like one of the biggest myths, because like I said, the people I work with, it's like they have spent money on their education, they've traveled to get that education, they're using the best products. It's like they provide great service, consistently, kind of over and above
Hmm.
level service,
Hmm.
but they don't see the value that they're bringing and that they could be charging more.
Right.
And with ease,
With
without,
ease. Yeah.
and so they kind of stay in cycles. And
Yeah.
so that's what the program is for and who it's for. And so any thoughts as far as, talking to someone who may be like, this kind of sounds like me and maybe it could be good, but like, what would you say to someone who's kind of on the fence as far as looking into this?
I would say if you're not making the amount of money that you need to be making, like if you've done your math and you need to be making a certain amount and you've looked and That's like usually at like now at tax time, that's when you would find out the accountant's like, oh, you made such and such, and you're looking at your account and you're like, where is it? If
Right.
you're that person, you definitely need this. If you're overbooked and people still want your services, you definitely need this. If you're if you're stressed out and you don't have any bandwidth, like you want to do more for your clients but you don't have the bandwidth,
Mhm.
right, the capacity to do it, you definitely need this. Because one of the main things that came out of me raising my prices and then having less clients to work with is I now have time to be creative and give them like styles now come with my service, and I can be creative in that time frame.
Right.
They can come with their, I feel like doing this today, and because I have enough time and the time is priced well for me. I'm not angry about what I need to do. I come to work and I enjoy what I'm doing. I'm not on roller skates. I used to call it being on roller skates, when you finish with one client and zoom to get the next client and you zoom to get the next client. I'm not on that anymore. So to see other people doing it, it's like, oh no, no, there's a better way to do this thing. So if you're feeling like life can be different or you want a different life, you definitely need to take this program so you can. It's the visuals and the theory behind why you need to do what's being asked to do, so that you can actually have a business that fits in with your life, not trying to squeeze your life into the business.
Well said. Yes, yeah, it's like, and it's easy for that to happen. Like I said, that snowball kind of starts building, and sometimes we don't even realize that we're in it. It's like that
Right.
we're on skates every day.
Yeah.
That the things that we want to, we can see and visualize, creatively in our head. It's like, oh, not enough time for
Not
that.
enough time
Not
for that.
today, maybe next time. And
Right.
like if the clients are asking for a certain look or something extra that they may want to add on or something like that. It's like, oh, not today.
Not
You
today. Exactly. So also, I want to say just about your life and how you show up for the people that you love. I feel completely. I feel like if you ask my family, they'll be like, "Yeah, she's a little more mellow than she used to be." Because I was like, all the time, because there was no room for anybody with the way I was doing things. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Share with us, maybe an example of what that might look like. What was family life like before versus now?
Girl. So I would I would work from, I can make it to the salon at 8:30, right? So 3 hours. Every 3 hours I was having a client, 8:30, 11:30, 4, whatever. 8:30, 11:30, 2 o'clock, five
Uh-huh.
o'clock. Those are 4 clients, right? Then you get home super late, right? The kids are going to bed. And I have a husband, so now I'm putting a lot of weight on him to take care of all that stuff. So I would cook on Sunday, because I knew during the week I would be on these roller skates. And on the days that I will pick up my kids, I'd be racing to get there in the nick of time. And they charge $1 per minute. Now they charge $2
Oh,
per minute,
okay.
right? So I get there just in the nick of time, or late to pay that extra fee. Then we race home. It's supposed to be dinner time. I'm all bagging pots in the kitchen, and then homework, going to bed. Like everything ran like a what's that road race, right? With those people in those little stock cars. Everything was just like that. Then you lay down, you wake up. It's like that cycle. So being able to sit down and be like, oh, really, the other word was no, right? You need to be able to say no to some things. So in order for me to create the space that was needed, in addition to raising the price, um, when someone was wanting to, they want the service, they can't pay this price. Can we work anything out? No, we can't, because I'm focused on trying to make this life easier for me, right? I'm working on making this life smoother, more peaceful for me. And this was the way that I had to do it in order to achieve that peace. And I just had to ask myself, how badly do I want a more peaceful life? So it's like, yeah, it's literally night and day. But that stress of you stayed on 10 because you were going to the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. And there was no room for any wusa.
Okay.
That's how life was. It's even like hectic talking about it.
Right, right. Yeah, take a deep breath.
Yeah, it was
So,
it was quite yeah. It was
yeah, share with us a little bit, as far as what it's like now with
so
your kids
now
and husband and
now I work I don't work every day of the week on my clients, which I used to. So now I work Thursday, Friday, Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays is when I do my clients. I have 2 clients a day. I have a break between clients. I eat lunch. I bring my lunch to work.
nice.
I bring my lunch to work. The appointments are real chill. We're talking hee hee ha ha. People love their hair when they leave. They have their appointments when they leave. I leave peacefully to go pick up my son. We go home. We eat dinner because dinner's already been prepped. I do it on Sunday. And then we sit at the table. Hey, how was your day? Oh my gosh, what? And then we do homework. And then it's time for bed. There's a little more ease and flow in life, right? And I even on Fridays now, because I also had to cut out, in order to make that schedule work, I cut out evenings and Saturdays. So now I have time to go on dates with my daughter. She's in high school, so we can go to the movies on Friday night, and I'm not coming home at dark 30 because I've been with all these clients all day. It's completely different.
Yeah, yeah, that's beautiful. That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah,
And I'm sure your husband has to appreciate the the differences as well.
yeah, yeah. It's quite noticeable.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that sometimes we forget that, it is a life first and that the business should be in support of the life and the lifestyle that you want.
Right, right.
Yeah. And of course that changes at different stages of your life and of your career.
That's true.
So that's, like one of the keys
Hmm.
is really kind of assessing or reassessing where
Yeah.
am I now? Yeah,
Hmm.
what do I want this to look like?
Yeah, and it's a constant reassess because
Hmm.
I feel like maybe from quarter to quarter you can see what at the moment I'm trying to map out what can I do each quarter to move me closer to not being behind the chair.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a constant reassessment of what needs to happen.
Yeah, yeah. And I say this isn't, it's a course, but it's not really a course. It's a blueprint.
Hmm.
So it's meant where you can use this, kind of no matter what situation that you're in.
Hmm.
What's your experience of that been since it's been, I think we were calculating about 2.5 years since you
Yeah,
took.
it is definitely a blueprint. So because I'm mentoring other stylists, I'm able to use the same format to help them not even have to be in a place where you deal with your business in overwhelm. You already build your business from a very calm and intentional place of how you want your life to be, and the blueprint works for anybody. Like there's no person that it doesn't work for. All you need to do is follow it to see where do I want to be, and then that's how you make your decisions.
Right. Wow.
Yeah,
That's pretty powerful.
yeah. It's been really
Yeah.
good. It's been really good.
Yeah. Like, well, definitely, I so appreciate you kind of walking us through, what life was like before, what the course was like for you during it. Like you said,
Mhm.
challenges with getting focused and,
Yeah,
putting aside the.
because I was taking the course during that time where everything was just all over the place. But
Hmm.
um, luckily, I'm an auditory learner, so even though I wasn't sitting down taking notes, I was hearing everything, and then when I would make that, because I had to make the time, not when I had the time, but I had to make the time to sit down and be like, okay, this is what was discussed, and then there was homework to turn in, so that was also good.
Hmm.
to be like, what did you, uh, what real numbers are you working with? What real things are you working with? And then you would talk to us from that place. That was helpful.
Yeah, yeah. It's like there's not like a lot of homework per se because it's like what you're learning, you're actually implementing into your business,
Right,
and the changes start to happen.
right.
And that's a question as well. What was kind of the time frame for changes to start to happen for you and your business?
I want to say like within that after I don't know what week it is where you said this is the format of this letter that you're going to send.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was during class.
Okay.
It was during class. Yeah,
Okay. And so from that point, it was like, okay, this is shifted
yeah,
and
yeah.
uh,
And it was helpful to be getting the feedback from the clients while we were in class, because then you would tell us, okay, so this type of feedback, this is what you do next was always coming up. So it's good to implement while you're in class.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And it's one of the reasons, like now, like I said, it is set up as an online course, but I add in often a bonus of being able to come together.
Mm,
There is this exponential increase that happens from hearing other people's
that's right.
ideas and exchanges and what they're going through and seeing their success
Yeah.
stories and hearing it, and just kind of there's something that happens pretty magical that doesn't always happen. I mean, you can get all of it and you can implement and you can raise your prices and change your business and change your lifestyle without it, but there is something magical about it. And so I do offer that as a bonus because
I,
I think
I
that's
think, yeah, I think you're right, because when people would come and share their wins after implementing a thing, and
Mhm.
then you're over here, you didn't implement anything, you're like, I wonder what would happen if I did do my stuff. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't feel good for you not to
Right.
for you to be learning the exact same information and not getting the same results as other people. That,
Right.
yeah, that always bothers me. So yeah.
Yeah, a little pressure, a little competition, a little
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely. It spurs you on and it's like, well, wait a minute. If they did all that, then I can
yes,
do this. Yeah.
yes,
Yes,
that's
I
awesome.
know. I think you said you were in the session with Precious or one of the sessions, and I know she did between week 3 and week 4, she made $1,000 more.
Yes, I
And
remember that.
yeah, that was,
That was very impactful. That I think that's the day I started coming live.
okay. Like, what just happened?
Like, wait, I'm missing out on something. Yeah, I need to be there. So, which says something about being in the, like, it confirms what you're saying about um, being in a group with people who are doing things, like, people moving on to the next level,
Hmm.
to see, to rub elbows with people who are doing things at a certain level, pulls you up as well.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
being in business can feel really lonely. And
Hmm.
it's like we're often going through the same types of things. And so this
Right.
is just bringing everyone together
Yeah.
to share, where they are, what their experiences are in a safe space. And
Hmm.
um, the the thing that I would say, like say about Precious, and it's like I've done an interview with her as well. And Hope is what her name is.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, but she was probably the most hesitant person to raise
Yes.
her prices of anyone that I've worked with.
Yeah. All of anyone you've worked with. Okay.
Yeah, it's like she was like, "Oh, no, 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 I can't raise my prices. No, nope, they're all gonna leave. Nope, this is gonna
Yeah.
happen, that's gonna happen, and
Yeah.
there's like no way I can do this." And
Hmm.
started, taking the baby steps and making the changes, and the $1,000 increase she had was before any formal price raise, price
Right.
increase. So,
Right.
and she works in a commission salon, and it's like the salon wasn't raising their prices for a little bit long, after
Hmm.
time frame, but she made shifts in her business that
Hmm.
increased her income.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we're all responsible for our paycheck,
That's
no matter
true.
who you work for or how you work.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So if
Yeah.
you don't if you don't like the paycheck, The only person you can blame is you.
Yeah, yeah. It's like I had a friend, and I would often complain, like, "Wow, I am just so jam packed. You know, my schedule is crazy, and this, that, and the other." And she would just calmly say, "Who makes your schedule?" And I was
Mm.
like, "Oh, yeah, it's me. Okay,
I
maybe I need to do something different."
Yeah, I can tell you a story about a friend of mine. So you have to have good friends.
Yeah,
At the height of the craziness that I was doing, because there was no room on my schedule for the regular time frames, I
and
was opening my schedule up earlier or staying later to
right,
accommodate people. And she was like, "Let me ask you a question. If I go to Publix pharmacy for my prescriptions, and if I was to call them up and be like, I got to be at work at 8 and you guys close at 9.
mhm,
Can you guys open at 7 so
mhm.
that I can come get my prescription and then get to work? You think they would do it?" And I was like, "Who does that? They wouldn't do that." She said,
Mirror, huh?
"Right? Because you're a business, are you not?" I was like,
Right, right.
"Wow."
That's the part we forget, that this is a business.
Yeah, businesses open and close. They don't,
Yeah, yeah.
unless you're a 24-hour something,
Right,
businesses
right.
open and close. So,
Absolutely. And trust me, when they have a 24-hour, there's people who work shifts. It's like
right,
it's not one
right. It's
person
not one person.
trying to do it all. So,
That part too. So,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we've got another great comment from Elaine. Do we have an alumni group? We don't have an alumni group. It's like I do have my six-figure breakthrough mastermind is a way that I help support people, and it's like I invite people to come and as part of the luxury business blueprint, to come and be part of that.
Mhm.
And it's also great for any graduates or alumni, but we may have to have some type of reunion, especially as we keep getting more graduates. So that's
Right,
really
right.
cool. Yeah.
Mm.
So my mission initiative this year is to help 100 hairstylists to generate or create a six-figure and beyond business in the next 12
Nice,
months. And so I've got my work cut out for me.
nice.
I would say if you are watching this and you are interested in being part of the Luxury Business Blueprint, to visit the Luxury Business. Well, actually, I'll put the link in there. I need to have it so it will scroll, but you can visit there and get information, and/or you can visit mikiwright.com/promo. And there's a link where you can schedule to meet with me, and I'll share, any details or any questions that you may have to see if it's right for you. But there's also a great promotion that's going on right now for a limited time. It's like you could get started for only $87 a month
Mm.
with
That's a good deal.
one of the services that's available. So it's a really spectacular deal because it's like, if you could say like what it did for your business financially and what it did for your life and lifestyle, what would you kind of
Mm.
summarize that as?
Summarize. Um, for my for my business, it allowed me to. I believe I have at least from 2021, my income has doubled from what it was, which
Mhm.
is exciting because when you start thinking about other things that you want to do and people have these thresholds, you're like, it's easier now to do that math to be like, okay, I can get there, right?
Right.
Um, so definitely, the income wise, it has really stabilized my business. I'm not frazzled financially in
Mhm.
my business, um, and I know what to do when it looks like it's about to be frazzled, right? It keeps you looking ahead,
Right.
right? And for my life, I think it just has made it a lot more peaceful, and it has shifted the context of my business fits into my life, not the other way around.
Mhm.
And so when it looks like, and that's where that word, that congruent word has come in, because when it looks like the business is encroaching and making my life uncomfortable, then I know I need to make some changes, and it's easier to make those changes.
Wow. Yeah. So think about that as, what is that worth?
Man, I don't think you can put a value on it. You can put like a dollar amount on that. I don't think so. I don't think.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah,
what I'm here inviting anyone who's interested to, look into that because it is life changing in a variety of different ways. So
completely. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
completely life
So I'd
changing.
love to speak with you, and it's like I will drop the link so you can take a look at it. And what I would suggest is, you've heard Roselee's story, but there are some fabulous testimonials on the website. Read through those. These are real people, real beauty professionals who have made transitions in their lives that have made a huge difference, for themselves, for their families, for their clientels, for their business. So, yeah, I want to thank you so much, Roselee. This has been great, and
Thank you.
I've loved hearing about your the things that you're doing. And it's like, tell us a little bit about Stylist Excel and how people can get involved with that as well.
Okay. So Stylist Excel is the education part that I'm increasing in my business. It's going to help me come from behind the chair, and we're doing. There's a 3-day signature lock method course, which is learning about the interlocking method, but really more learning about how to create your lock business in such a way from the beginning so that your clientele doesn't need to be in the hundreds for you to have a successful business. So the structure that we promote is to build your business to 6 figures with less than 50 clients. And we work on that almost using the same thought process that I learned in the luxury business blueprint,
Mhm.
to make sure that you think about your business as a business in the first place, and then you fine tune your technique to make sure that whatever it is that you want to have going on in your business, your skill and your pricing come together. So the my website is roseleemathu.com. Um, and when you scroll through there, you'll be able to see the signature lock method uh, breakdown and when the classes will be. And I also have a mentoring program. My mentoring program actually serves Sister Locks graduates and in other interlocking Locticians. And it's a 6-week program where we go through making sure that your uh, whatever you learned technique wise, you learn how to apply it in real life, but also that signature aspect is also about your business. Your business's signature, the client experience's signature, for a completely unique experience for you and your clients that can't be replicated, and it builds a real nice clientele, loyal clientele
Mhm.
that keeps you with a sustainable business. So that's what we're doing at Stylist Excel.
Beautiful. I love it. And I've got this scrolling across the bottom. You can contact Roselee at roseleemathu.com. And it's ROSELEEMATHU.com.
Excellent.
So definitely, check her out, especially if you are in the lock space, especially if you are, offering sister locks or if you're doing other interlocking methods. Is you want to elevate where you are, definitely talk to her.
Awesome.
Yeah, so thank you again, Rosalie. I really appreciate you being here. I appreciate
Thank
everybody who's
you.
watching us live. And I also want to say thank you to everyone who's watching us, as a replay. And thank you, Elaine, for putting that in the group as well to make it so it's clickable. So, yeah, so it's like I want to encourage you, it's like this is a fabulous business and you do have options and you do bring value. And I want to encourage you to start to look at that in a different way than you may have been looking at it before.
Definitely.
Invite you back to check out beautysuperstars.com. We are on YouTube under my YouTube channel, which is Miki Wright, just one K, Mikiwright. And you can see many of the interviews with some of the graduates, as well as other topics that we have to help you build a better business. So I'll look forward to seeing you in the first week of April. If you're watching this live now. And we meet the first and third Tuesdays of each month at 1 p.m. live, and that's Eastern time. And so our next time will be on the 2nd of April. So I will look forward to seeing you guys then. Thank you so much, Roselee, and I
Thank
will talk
you.
to you soon.
All
So
right.
keep reaching for the stars.
Awesome.